Yo, what is up, Tenken fam? Get ready, because we are diving headfirst into the hottest gaming news making waves right now. First up, we're talking about Night Quest, Goblins Raid. Is this medieval platformer a hidden gem or a total flop? We've got the full review. Next, we're shifting gears to the big players. Chris Charla from ID at Xbox is dropping some serious intel, revealing that Xbox has made its largest investment in Game Pass to date this year. But is this enough to silence the critics who say the subscription service just isn't worth it anymore? We've got the inside scoop on what this means for the future of gaming. And speaking of Xbox and indies, we're taking you behind the scenes of their vital indie publishing operation. We'll uncover how Xbox is championing smaller developers, the challenges they face, and what it's like to get your game noticed on a massive platform like Xbox. This is the inside story you won't want to miss. Finally, gamers in the US, get ready to open your wallets wider. Xbox Series X and S prices are going up again, and we've got all the details on the new costs and what it means for your next console purchase. All that and more, right here, right now. Hit that like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single second. Night Quest Goblins Raid Review, a polished mess. Looks can be deceiving, and Night Quest Goblins Raid is the perfect example. On the surface, it seems like a typical, inoffensive medieval platformer designed for casual fun. But delve a little deeper, and you'll find a game that struggles to live up to its potential. The game drops you into a familiar fantasy world as a knight on a quest to save the day, battling hordes of goblins. While the premise is a classic, developers of Phil Games offer no fresh take on this age-old story. The real issues, however, lie in the gameplay and level design. You're thrown into levels with a simple point A to point B structure, with the only incentive to keep moving being a handful of coins that can't even be used for anything meaningful. Enemies are predictable, often just walking in set patterns, and the obstacles are equally basic, featuring little more than floor spikes and medieval equivalents of thwomps. The limited moveset, consisting of little more than jump, attack, and dropping through platforms, severely hampers the player's agency and the overall fun factor of a platforming game. Level design is equally uninspired, with a puzzling lack of actual platforming challenges. Collectibles are limited to coins, making stage progression feel like a monotonous chore. Some stages even feature identical layouts with minor tweaks, giving the impression of a rushed development process. On the brighter side, the game does maintain a consistent medieval fantasy aesthetic. This, along with the repetitive, retro-style MIDI soundtrack, are perhaps the only redeeming qualities. Ultimately, Night Quest Goblins Raid is a game that, despite its polished exterior, suffers from perplexing gameplay and level design decisions that undermine its core platforming foundations. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to reveal how Xbox is making its biggest investment in Game Pass ever, and whether it's enough to combat recent criticism. Plus, we're diving deep into the world of Xbox indie publishing. Xbox's Game Pass investment, silence or sustain? Xbox is doubling down on Game Pass, with ID at Xbox boss Chris Charla announcing this year marks their largest investment in Game Pass to date. This comes at a time when the subscription service faces criticism regarding its long-term value and impact on the industry. Charla shared that hundreds of partners are engaged with annually, leading to deals with over 150 partners to expand the Game Pass catalog. He highlighted that the majority of developers who have had titles on the service want to return, indicating positive relationships. This substantial investment aims to deliver a diverse and exciting game library for subscribers. However, the move is a direct response to growing concerns. Figures like Arkane Studios founder Rafael Colantonio have labeled Game Pass an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry. Others, like Larian director of publishing Michael Dowse, suggest that while beneficial for smaller, riskier games, it might cannibalize sales, preferring Sony's lifecycle management approach. Even former PlayStation boss Sean Layden questioned the service's health for developers, rather than just its profitability. Despite the debate, some developers, like football manager boss Miles Jacobson, have seen significant player number increases since adding their games to Game Pass. Charla also emphasized Xbox's commitment to diversity in its portfolio, showcased by the variety of indie and third-party titles featured at events like Gamescom. But how is Xbox actually making this happen behind the scenes? We're about to explore the vital indie publishing operation that's making it easier for developers to get their games on Xbox. Xbox is indie publishing, a lifeline for developers. Xbox's commitment to independent developers through its ID at Xbox program is proving more vital than ever, especially amidst broader challenges within the company. From humble beginnings with services like Xbox Live Indie Games, which allowed anyone to publish titles like the simple Curling 2010, Xbox has evolved its support system. The ID at Xbox program, now a cornerstone of the platform's strategy, has been instrumental in showcasing a diverse range of games. At events like Gamescom, the Xbox booth prominently featured indie titles like There Are No Ghosts at the Grand and the highly anticipated Hollow Knight. Silksong, demonstrating a strong focus on third-party and indie relations. Developers like Anil Glendening from Friday Sunday and Mike Willett from Quarter Up have shared how invaluable Xbox's support has been, from marketing assistance to providing crucial dev kits and technical support. They describe the process as a significant confidence booster, validating their creative visions and helping them navigate the complexities of game development and publishing. Chris Charla, head of ID at Xbox, explained that their approach to finding and supporting indie games has remained consistent for over a decade. They scout talent everywhere, from industry events to direct messages and internal recommendations. The team works with hundreds of partners annually, ensuring a broad spectrum of titles, which is crucial for bolstering the Game Pass catalog. Despite ongoing debates about Game Pass's sustainability, Charla remains optimistic, noting that most partners wish to continue with the service. This year's record investment in Game Pass underscores this commitment. The program's success is also measured by its efforts to simplify the publishing process itself. Charla highlighted that making it easier for developers to get their games onto Xbox platforms has been a long-standing goal, saving them significant time and resources. Now, the focus is shifting towards helping developers connect with their audiences in an increasingly crowded market, ensuring that quality games get discovered. But if you're looking to buy a new Xbox console, you might want to act fast. We've got some shocking news about upcoming price increases that you absolutely need to know. Xbox Series XS prices surge again in the US. Get ready for another hit to your wallet, US gamers. Starting October 3rd, Microsoft is implementing a significant price hike on all Xbox Series X and S consoles in the United States, marking the second increase in just 6 months. The Xbox Series X will jump from $599.99 to $649.99, while the 512GB Series S will now cost $399.99, up from $379.99. The 1TB Series S sees a similar rise, going from $429.99 to $449.99. Even the Series X Digital Edition is not spared, increasing from $549.99 to $599.99. The most substantial jump affects the 2TB Galaxy Black Special Edition, skyrocketing from $729.99 to $799.99. These price adjustments come with the official explanation of changes in the macroeconomic environment, a corporate term for rising costs and tariffs. This second price increase within half a year means the Series X has become $150 more expensive, and the Series S $100 more expensive compared to their prices 6 months ago. Notably, these price hikes are currently exclusive to the US, leaving international players to wonder if and when similar increases will affect their regions. This situation puts Microsoft's hardware business under pressure, especially as Xbox continues to trail behind PlayStation and Nintendo Switch in global sales. The new pricing strategy also positions the Series X at a price point very close to the rumored PS5 Pro, potentially influencing purchasing decisions for budget-conscious consumers. Gamers are now faced with a decision: purchase before the October 3rd deadline, wait for potential future console revisions, or hope that regions outside the US are spared from these hikes. The clock is ticking for those looking to secure a console at the current prices. That's all the news for today, but stick around for a super fast recap of everything we covered and a massive call to action. And that's a wrap for today's news. We dove deep into the surprisingly disappointing Night Quest. Goblins Raid revealed Xbox's massive investment in Game Pass and their support for indie developers, and warned you about the latest Xbox Series X and S price hikes in the US. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more awesome gaming content, ring that notification bell so you never miss an update, and let us know in the comments which story you found most shocking. Follow us on all our socials for even more gaming goodness. We'll see you in the next one.